All right, so this is a quick tutorial. Let's see here. Starburp was looking to edit a item, and I'm going to show you how to import that STL file from Thingiverse into Fusion and then make it editable, clean it up a little bit, and then edit it. So the first thing we do is open Fusion, go into Insert Mesh, and insert option there, and insert mesh, and then we're going to go ahead and open that item, which is this right here. Click OK. And it imports that STL file into Fusion. And I don't need to mess with the orientation at all, so I'm just going to click OK. And now we've got that item in Fusion, but we want to edit it. And so in order to do that, we want to modify it and convert the mesh to brep, but you can see that option is not available here. And in order to make that visible, you want to go here to the top of this like organization tree. I'm not sure what this is called. I'm going to right click on it and say do not capture design history. And you can see it got rid of our design history under there, which is fine at this point because we haven't really edited it. Then we go back to modify, mesh to brep. You see that option is available now. We'll click that, click the body, and click new component, and hit OK. It'll take a second, turn gray, and now we can edit this item. The next thing we want to do is clean up this face. So we go back up the surface. Again, we're leaving capture design history disabled. So this surface, modify, mesh, or merge option is available. If we had capture design history enabled, that wouldn't be available. So we're going to click merge, make sure select chain is enabled. I'm going to click on one of these faces, and these actually all make up this surface, this side of it. But they have these, something happens when it gets converted to an STL file to create these, something beyond my knowledge. But we want to clean this up so it's easier to edit. So I'm going to click OK. It's going to merge these into a single editable surface. So that's easier. Now the tricky part is this is an STL file with no Fusion history. Normally if you sketch this up from nothing, you'd have all these items at the bottom where you could just adjust, drag circles around in your sketches, and then click OK. It doesn't do that for us, so we have to do some manipulation here. So I'm going to click on the surface and click create sketch, and what we have to do is figure out what is this, kind of figure out a box this fits in so we can create our new points to draw our new circles. So what I normally do here is draw out some rectangles, some lines, some circles to figure out where the center is on this thing, because it's not really that intuitive. If you look at this, we zoom in real close, this is kind of lumpy bumpy. It's not really rounded. The same thing on this side. So in order to do that, we're going to have to make some assumptions, draw some circles here, and see what we can do. So I click R for rectangle, and I click down at what looks like the bottom point of the circle, and then I'm going to go up to what looks like the top of the circle and click that. Now these circles existing in here are roughly 5.6. If I click on this line, it'll show you the dimension in the bottom right, which I don't know if you can read that, but it's 5.639, so that's pretty close. And we want to change this so that these circles are 9.7, but they drops down. So what we need to do is figure out the center point here and bring it down this way. Looks like roughly 2.05 millimeters. So if I hit R for rectangle, I'm going to find the center here. You see that triangle appears when you hover over the middle of the line. I'm going to click it. I'm going to go this way, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in 2.05. And then hit tab, 2.05, and hit enter. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to hit R for rectangle, find the middle, click and release, and then drag. Just move my mouse, and I'll type in 2.05, 2.05. And this should be the center for my 9.7 millimeter circle. So I'm going to hit C for circle. And if I go to the top, is it 9.7? Yeah, close enough. 9.739. So let's just go ahead and type it in manually, 9.7, and then hit C for circle and go off of this point, 9.7, hit enter, and we should look pretty good. If I were to go from the edge of the circle here, oh, I forget how to get to the exact, let's just do it this way. I'll hit L for line. I'm gonna go up here to 180. A tab, it'll lock in that angle so you can see as I move my mouse up and down it doesn't change, but it'll give me an X. Let's see if it actually let me draw to that circle there. I don't know if that actually gave me the point, but let's take it up. And you can see here, you're just kind of messing around a little bit to figure out. That is probably the side of that circle. Again, to the OP, the original poster. If you need to, you can see how this is done. You can go in here and edit. So at this point, we need to draw our horizontal lines here at the top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is just hit L for line, and you can see it centers on the circle. I'm going to click and release and just drag my mouse straight down. And you can see our angle is 90, 4.85. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to do the same over here. Except for I'm going to go up because I just need 2 points to draw my rectangle. Click 4.85, 4.85, hit enter. Oh, whoops, that go up, yep. And now I'm gonna draw my rectangle. I'm gonna hit R for rectangle, go to this top, click and release. Now just move my mouse down here and hover until I get that square, and I'm gonna click and release. And now I got my square there. And what does that do? What that's going to do, I'm gonna hit finish sketch, is gives us our objects here we can click on and then extrude it. So the first thing we need to do is clean up this old one. So a real easy way to do that is we're going to go ahead and just create a new sketch. I'm going to hit create sketch. I'm going to click this surface. I'm just going to click and hit R and just click and drag a rectangle. We can make this disappear because it's its own sketch. Hit finish sketch. So now if I get rid of our other sketch, you can see we've got this going on. So if I click on that, right click, extrude, I'm just going to click on the opposite side here. So if I hold down shift and move my middle mouse button, I can rotate around. And I've got that highlighted, I extrude. Now I'm going to just select the surface and it's going to cut through, but I want to join that. So I'm going to change cut to join and click OK. And you can see it patches that up. So now I'm going to go back here to this view. I'm going to click back here in the upper right. It'll orient it a little easier to read. I'm going to enable my first sketch and we have our drawing there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control and just select all these pieces to make this new hole. You can see this where these intersecting lines are. I could delete some of them so it's a little easier to select, but this does the same. Looks like I have an area that's not selected. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so again, there's that funky line. I'm going to hold Control down and click that. Looks like I have to do it for each piece down here. Hold down Control, zoom in, and then release. One more. Now we got those all selected. I'm going to right click, say extrude. I'm going to hold down shift and use my middle mouse button to rotate back here and click this surface, and it's going to pull through to that surface. It's going to cut. So when you extrude, if there's nothing there, it will assume you want to join and build something, but if there's material there you're extruding through, it assumes cut. And of course you can come over here and change that as you want, but I'm going to click OK. And now you can see there we've got that new hole. Okay, so that's how you add that hole. You should be able to take care of this on your side. It looks like you've already got the importing and BREP conversion done, but this should take you a step further to be able to create that hole. Okay, so at this point you can go to the top here and right click, save as STL, and then go ahead and click OK. It'll prompt you on where to save it, and you've got your STL file. I didn't re-enable design history that I planned on, but it would show the design history at the bottom, and you can go back and edit your sketch if you need to, change it around and things like this. So hope that helps.